For today's nostalgia trip, we're looking at two amazing moments in StarCraft 2 history provided by the one and only IdrA. While IdrA probably deserves an entire video dedicated to his career and influence in the StarCraft world, both StarCraft 2 and Brood War, I'll save that for a more detailed video later. For all the newbies StarCraft 2 history, just know that IdrA was infamous for a couple of different things. Raging, being bad-mannered, complaining about balance, and quitting games he probably shouldn't have. You've probably heard about IdrA vs. Huck and IdrA vs. MMA, but let's actually take a look at those games here in this video. First up is IdrA vs. Huck on Metalopolis at MLG Dallas 2011. The game has gone on for a long time, and there are two sizable late-game armies. Notably, however, Huck is missing better anti-air against those Broodlords. Hallucinate Void Rays seems like a good idea to buy time, but could it actually work?
At the very least, and oh my gosh, Void Rays now out on the field, and it looks like there's some Zerglings doing a counterattack in the main. The Void Rays, all hallucinations, doing absolutely no damage whatsoever. There's the blink up onto the high ground, just trying to distract IdrA. Those hallucinated Void Rays almost fully charged, Wheat, and IdrA left the game. Oh my goodness, IdrA.
Yeah, that was actually the end of the game, and IdrA, in usual IdrA fashion, did not GG, but that was really him just tapping out and letting Huck take the victory. This game led to a pretty well-shared screenshot of Huck politely letting IdrA know in the next game that he shouldn't have tapped out. IdrA responds, in usual IdrA fashion. This is not too uncommon for those who do not know the name of IdrA. This is exactly what he's like most of the time. But while it's all fun to look at this single instance and have a good laugh, it's important to note that IdrA and Huck ended up being one of the most famous, best rivalries to grace the StarCraft 2 scene. It did a huge job in spurring the Team Liquid versus Evil Geniuses rivalry, and probably to an extent, the Zerg versus Protoss rivalry that a lot of people still feel, today, and created the best marketing move of the time, as EG was pretty good at that. It was also pretty good at convincing Huck to join their team and be a teammate of IdrA's, which led to this really awesome idea of a announcement poster. So kudos for that. But of course, this wasn't the only instance of IdrA tapping out of a potentially won game. Let's take a look at another match, one that was played a bit later than that last one we just saw, on a map called Test Bug. Very unique map. I actually really enjoyed it, but there were some problems for sure. IdrA and MMA are pretty well matched for each other. You have an awesome, probably maybe one of the best foreigners of all time, maybe the best foreigner at the moment, versus MMA, this golden child of Slayer's Boxer on Team Slayers that was it was doing very well as a team altogether. It was seriously hype, and it was on a very funny map, but still like a very, cool one, in my opinion. You can see that MMA has to break down rocks on the gold, so he target fires and starts killing his own command center.
Yeah, and where did that medevac go? I'm not sure. He's taking out the gold.
Oh no! Oh my goodness, MMA!
Yep, there it goes. Easy mistake to make, right? Usually you just fix it before it dies. Want to see the exact moment he noticed? There it is. And there it is in slow motion, just because. Well, at this point, the ones who don't see what's coming because they watched it years ago are probably asking, I thought this was a video about IdrA's mistakes. Well, keep watching. You probably think that IdrA is doing pretty well. He cleans up this drop. He's got a lot of creep spread. He's got a great economy. MMA is basically all inning off of 2 bases. Although, remember this drop for later. And IdrA's going to go for the kill.
Now IdrA's rolling in. Look at the Mutalisk count. Banelings getting absolutely obliterated by these tanks, but the Mutalisk count is just a little bit too high. IdrA now streaming forward with Zerglings, Mutas, everything is overrunning this force by MMA. Wait, what?
I truly believe there's no better reaction than DJ Wheat and Day9 right here. There's no way I could have, trumped that. That's just not going to happen. But let's give IdrA a little more credit. Remember that drop when I said take note of? it really does look like it killed the entire mineral line of IdrA's natural. And MMA went on to win that entire tournament, by the way. So I guess IdrA really shouldn't be too hard on himself for losing to the eventual champ. While there are certainly more moments in IdrA's career than just these, the two shown in this video are probably the ones you'll hear most often referenced. IdrA was more than just these moments, of course, but I don't think anyone is letting these games slip away from StarCraft 2's history. Ever seen this image? Ever seen Grak used way too often in the StarCraft 2 everyday lingo? Why did this become a running joke? Well, Man of One Way is actually a boxer, and he's kind of a big deal. Just trust me on this if you don't actually know. Artos has cast this replay. In fact, you can still find it on his channel, and the legend of Grak was born. And since Evil Geniuses is Evil Geniuses, it was once again used to great marketing effect. It was also used to affectionately label IdrA's fashionable jacket, the Gracket. And there's your dose of StarCraft 2 nostalgia or history or whatever you want to call it for today. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.